Do you want to learn how to stream on Twitch using your Xbox One, but you can't afford one of these expensive Elgato capture card, which I pretty much talk about in all my videos? Well, lucky for you, in today's video, I'm going to be going over some cheaper capture card alternatives. But if you don't want to use a capture card at all, you can check out this video in the top right corner, which goes over the freeway, which honestly I wouldn't recommend because you don't have as much control over your stream. But if you just want to cut straight to the chase and know which two cheap capture cards I'm going to be going over in today's video, I'm going to leave them linked in the description down below, so you can just go ahead and check them out now. But I'm going to be going over the pros and cons of using the cheaper alternatives than using an Elgato capture card. And then at the end of the video, I'll quickly show you how to connect your Xbox One to a capture card to your computer, and then how to stream and set it all up at the end of the video. So if that sounds good to you, make sure to drop a like on the video to help other people find this video. And the whole reason that we want to start using a capture card to stream our Xbox One to Twitch is because that's going to give us so much more control over our live streams. If you stream directly to Twitch from your Xbox, you're not going to be able to customize and have all little doodads and the alerts and everything fun that all the professional streamers have. So using a capture card, we're going to be able to accomplish that. And lucky for us, today's sponsor is Own.tv, which is going to help us personalize our Twitch streams with everything that we could possibly imagine. Own.tv is the #1 place to find all of your Twitch overlays, your alerts, your panels, your emotes, basically everything that you want to deck out your stream with. They got it on a budget for all us broke people out there. My personal favorite is how easy it is to set up, especially if you go with one of their stream packages. To stick with the Christmas theme, I'm going to show you guys the Christmas Lights Complete package. This comes with everything from a webcam overlay to alerts to your Twitch profile to a desktop wallpaper, transitions, your Twitch banner, intermission banners, and a YouTube banner. So basically everything you could possibly want is going to be in this complete package. So make sure to keep an eye out for some of these sales, and if you want to help support the channel, the link to all this is going to be in the description down below. So thanks to Own.tv for sponsoring this video. Appreciate you guys. So the two capture cards that I'm going to be going over are going to be a fraction of the cost of the Elgato HD60S or S Plus. So you might be thinking, oh, well, then what's the catch? What's the catch? Well, that's the thing. When you go with some of these cheaper knockoff brands on Amazon, sometimes you're going to get headaches, you're going to get bugs, sometimes things aren't going to work properly, sometimes you got to unplug it, plug it back in. You're going to be saving that premium in order to have to possibly deal with some of these headaches included. So taking a look on Amazon, the Elgato HD60S Plus capture card is going right around $200, and the cheaper alternatives that we're going to look at are $35 and $18. Before we go over the cons, let's go over the pros. What makes these things so great? Obviously, the price is going to be what reels all of us in because it's only costs about 10 to 20% of what the actual Elgato capture card costs, and they're actually a lot smaller and more portable. So while they're cheaper and smaller, let's go over a few of the cons that could happen. So some of the risks of these capture cards are, one, that they come from an unknown brand. So if you need any kind of technical support or anything of that matter, you got any questions, it's going to be harder to get answers to it. Versus if you go to Elgato, they have a support team, they got customer service. There's a lot of people that already use the capture cards, so you're going to get questions and answers pretty quickly. So with that, it's going to come with some more research, some more trial and error, especially if things don't work properly the first time you're trying to set it up. Also, the build quality of these are going to be cheaper, so they're probably going to be a lot easier to break. They're not going to last as long. But honestly, I'm not trying to trash these cheaper capture cards. I know a lot of us are balling on a budget, and the one thing that I can always recommend to you guys is just simply look at the Amazon reviews, because those are the people that you're going to want to pay attention to because they've actually used this product for what you're trying to use it for. So if they have any problems or if they have a bad experience, they're going to let you know in the reviews below. But let's actually take a look at these capture cards so I can shut up. So the first capture card, this is going to be a generic 4K Ultra HD HDMI video capture card. Wow, what a mouthful. This bad boy is going to be coming in at about $35. It looks like there's a 5% coupon, so that's great. So this one seems to be pretty well right off the bat because not only does it have a USB 3.0, it's got a mic input, it's got a headphone input, and on the back it has HDMI output and HDMI input. And for those that don't know, that's going to enable pass-through, meaning that you can play your console, your Xbox, on your TV while also sending video footage over to your computer. So that way you're not forced to play it on your computer. Unlike if we check out the other capture card, this one's only $18, but it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. As you can see, it only has an output and then an input, meaning that you are going to be forced to play your Xbox through your computer monitor. And I'm assuming that if we play it through this little bad boy right here, there's probably going to be a significant amount of latency or delay, meaning that anytime you make a movement on your Xbox controller, it's going to take a couple milliseconds or even longer to be able to register that movement. So if you're playing Halo, chances are you're going to play with a little bit of a delay, and you're going to be able to sense that, and it's not going to be that great. But if you're playing a more laid-back game, it probably wouldn't be as necessary, but just something to consider. So while this one costs half as much, honestly, I probably wouldn't even go with this one. I'd go with the other one just because it doesn't have that pass-through feature. But let's just quickly take a look at the Amazon ratings, and the first one we can see, output is capped at 30 FPS at 1080p, not USB 3.0. So that's not really too great off the bat, but the one underneath, so far so good. I'm using this capture capture my Nintendo Switch. It works great so far. They also said they had some issues getting the game audio set up in OBS, but after extensive research, I got it half working. And that's what I mentioned before. Since it's not Elgato, they don't have like a customer support team that are going to help you out. Chances are that doing your research is going to cost you a little bit more time than it would with another more established brand like Elgato. So just another thing to keep an eye out for. When recording, the game audio is captured, but as it's happening, I cannot hear it in my headphones. I can only hear my desktop audio. Overall, awesome quality, especially for the price. Yeah, $18. Basically, if this can capture your game for 18 bucks, I mean, that's a steal. But let's keep looking. This one says 4 stars, fantastic for the price, great functionality as well. Let's see what their problem was. The only reason I gave it a 4 stars instead of 5 is because the size of the dongle is a bit awkward, and I had to plug it into the front panel connector since it was too big for me, that's what she said, to have all of the connectors plugged into the back of it. So if you're really balling on a budget and you don't mind spending extra time to try and come up with different fixes, this is a great choice for only $18 for a capture card, seeing as how the Elgato capture card costs $200 plus tax on top of that. So definitely worthwhile if you're balling on a micro budget. So to circle back to this capture card, this one costs twice as much. However, you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck because you got the USB 3.0, you got the 2 extra slots there, and then you have the pass-through. So if you wanted to play on your TV instead of your computer monitor, then that's fine. It claims to do 4K HDMI, which we'll see about that in the ratings. So this says 5 stars, works great at a great price. What I discovered is that it doesn't exactly work 100% with 4K edit. I discovered I was using a cable that wasn't rated for 4K to drive the monitor past blah, blah, blah. I used a better HDMI cable and it started working capture while also displaying 4K to my monitor. That's great. Another 5-star review, good for the price. I got a video, not exactly plug and play. Basically, you're going to have to do a little research in order to do it, but it got 5 stars. 5 stars, works perfectly like an Elgato, works perfectly intended, 4K 60 FPS running through OBS. So that's why I'd personally go with this one over the $18 one. Honestly, just the top 3 or 4 reviews, they're way more convincing than all the other reviews on the other ones. So I would recommend this if you guys are balling on a budget. But let me quickly show you guys how to set this up in order to stream on Twitch through your Xbox using one of these capture cards. By the way, before we get to the setup, I just want to thank all my patrons for helping support the channel. All their names are right there. Beautiful people. Thank you guys very much. If you guys want to check out the Patreon, link is in the description down below. So for the first capture card, if you look in the top left corner, you're going to take the USB and you're going to plug it into your computer or laptop. If you guys need a gaming laptop, I'll leave a video in the top right corner so you can check out the best gaming laptops for streaming. But once you've connected it to your computer, that is how your computer is going to get the footage so you can stream it. Top right corner, you take your Xbox's HDMI cable and plug it into the input of the capture card. Bottom right corner, you take another HDMI cable, plug it into the HDMI output of the capture card, and you can plug that into your TV so you can play the game on your TV while still capturing the footage to your computer. For the headphone and microphone in the bottom left corner, personally, I don't like to use that kind of thing. I like to just have it directly plugged into my computer. So in the software setup, I'm going to be doing it that way, but there's also additional information on how to use the bottom left corner underneath the Amazon description, so you can check that out if you want to go that route instead. For the second capture card, you only have one choice. You only can plug in your Xbox One HDMI into the video input of the second capture card, and then there's just a USB output, which you just simply plug into your computer. So let's move on to the software setup. So what you want to do is go to streamlabs.com, download and install Streamlabs OBS. If you have no idea how to use this whatsoever, go ahead and watch the video in the top right corner. I have an in-depth guide going over all the things that you need to know for streaming on Streamlabs OBS. But we're going to keep this extremely simple. So first off, just make sure that you're logged in to your Twitch account. So go to your settings, go to stream, make sure you're logged in with Twitch here. That's going to allow you to stream when we're done setting up. Next thing you want to do is turn on your Xbox One, make sure it is connected to the capture card. Go to sources, go to video capture device, click add source. I'm going to add a new source instead. We'll call it Elgato cap card. We can name it whatever you would like to. I'm going to click add source, and then it should automatically pop up here, but if not, just click this drop down, click this. And if the resolution's messed up, like the screen size, mine fixed perfectly, but if that's messed up, just go to resolution, and then you can customize it by picking any of the ones here. But I like whatever it's on right now, 1920 by 1080p, that's perfect. I'm going to click done. So now you can see we have that on Streamlabs. Let's put up our webcam real quick by doing another video capture device. Same exact thing you did for the other thing, but instead of choosing a capture card, you're going to pick your webcam. So now I'm going to drag it by the corner, and then if you're on Windows, hold down Alt, grab it by the sides, and you can trim it like that. So now I'll put myself in a corner. You see I got my Xbox One controller, and now we have control of the Xbox One. If you want to do your microphone and everything else, the game volume, so go to audio and go to your settings. Desktop audio device 1, make sure that goes to your computer speakers or whatever your game volume's coming out of, so that way you can see the bar go up when you make actions in the game here. And then for your mic, you would just select whichever mic you're using here, and then you confirm that it's on and it's hearing you, because you can see this bar go up and down here. When you're doing the capture card with the game console, you're going to have your own little volume bar right here. So it's probably going to be extremely loud, which you might have right now. So you're going to want to turn this down. This is where you're going to control your game volume. If the game is way too loud or too soft, you would adjust this bar right here. Once you have all this done, all you do is click go live, and then make sure everything's enabled, everything's good. Put in your title, put in your Twitch game, confirm and go live, and you're streaming on Twitch.